It hasn't even been 2 weeks when Vice Mayor Cynthia Gonzalez of a town called Cudahy, which is not too far from East Los Angeles, made a call out to Mexican gangs about their position on fighting back against ICE raids. Now, this is important to understand. A lot of Hispanics and even illegal Hispanics are around this area in Cudahy, California. And so this is the video that she put out calling out Mexican gangs to fight against ICE.
You guys are all about territory, and this is 18th Street, and this is Torrance, and you guys tag everything up, claiming hood. And now that your hood's being invaded by the biggest gang there is, there ain't a peep out of you.
Not only did this particular video go across the entire nation, it caused the feds to investigate her for making such a video, in which she eventually apologized. But the damage was already done because Mexican gangs started to really evaluate their position, and Mexican gangs started to respond to what she was saying, whether negatively or positively. And this caused a Mexican gang member to say this.
Check it out, you silly rabbits. I hear a lot of residents, non-affiliates, hollering on social media platforms. Aren't gang members supposed to protect the neighborhood from ICE? And let me ask you that question, my G's. No. Now, is there individual gang members out there protesting? Yes. But is it an organized thing within the neighborhoods? Absolutely not, bro. Because that's when indictments come down and hit the neighborhoods, right? And they hit everybody and their mama, people that have got nothing to do with the decision you made to organize and go protest. So we got to be mindful and responsible if you are from a neighborhood in the sense of that. Let me break this shit down to you a little bit. Now, when I got jumped into my neighborhood, it didn't say in the fine print that we were insurance policies for individuals deemed illegal. You know what I mean? I'm talking about taqueros, the elote man, so on and so forth, right? The individuals that provide us these great services on these streets. And thanks to us, we utilize their services on these streets and we keep them afloat with the cash flow, right? The support. Yes, do we want to stand up when we see unjust things happening? Absolutely. But not every single gang member is on that tip. Why? Because we already at it with each other. And so now you want motherfuckers to put their down and provide unity within the community. And it doesn't always happen like that when you got a bunch of wild animals running all over the place. So the same people that are always calling the cops on gang members, the same people that hate these bald-headed motherfuckers hanging out in front of their house or on the street or in front of the liquor store, writing on the wall, now they calling for them. Come on, my dogs, make it make sense.
Now, I don't know if this guy is still an active gang member or not, but he did say when he got put on for his hood, he didn't get put on to help any illegal migrants into the country or to fight against ICE raids. Now, this is interesting because, you know, a lot of Hispanic gangs tie themselves to a certain culture. I don't know if it's called La Raza or things like that, but, you know, a lot of Hispanic gang banging is just not, you know, just street thugging and stuff like that. It's very cultural based and very community based, and there's more infrastructure and focus on hierarchy in comparisons to the black community. And this is something that's very interesting. But he's saying, hey, basically, look, you know, you are the same people that will call the police against these same gang members. Now you want these same people to help you. And also, you want us to go to jail and have these issues. While if we go out there and fight against ICE, I mean, you're not going to go to jail. It's not fair to the Hispanic gang members where we're going to risk our lives and our future by trying to defend y'all when y'all really don't like us. And this caused a lot of people to make comments. And I want to go ahead and go over this. A person by the name of Valerie agreed with him, for real, straight up. I'm not, that's for sure. The only way I'll go back if anybody hurt my children or grandbabies, but anything else, no, I'm good. So basically she's admitting, look, I've been to the pen before, I've been to jail before, but I'm not going back. I'll cheer you on from home or sign a partition, but not going out there to chaos. Like I said before, here, do it right so you can be taken seriously, but be heard if they really want a future here. Do what you need to do without hurting people, hurting yourselves, are damaging peoples. Okay, I'll read that much. Then this other person goes, but it's okay for you to be taxing the liquor stores, the elote man, the tamale lady. So you all come to an agreement to mess with your own kind, but you won't protect them now. You make no sense. All y'all should be burned and destroyed. Now, he did mention that the Hispanics are fighting each other. And I think sometimes as blacks, we can believe that, we know we have the Bloods and the Crips, and the black on black crime is interesting, but there is a high level of Hispanic on Hispanic crime because there are more Hispanics in Southern California than us. These same gang members are extorting the communities they come from. It's not like they're protecting them. They're taxing the liquor stores, the tamale lady, and everything else. But now when ICE raids come in to the same neighborhood that you say that you claim and you love, all of a sudden you don't have that smoke for them. This person goes here. I don't endorse or condone violence, but speaking on one of your points, some of the Bloods and Crips made peace unite when the Rodney King thing happened. And that was true. That was short-lived, but it was true. Stand for nothing, fall for everything. Now, this person also says, this guy is telling you people the truth. Okay, so he agreed. Another person says, if you can't stand for your people, then what do you stand for a neighborhood that you don't even own? Damn. Now, again, almost every gang has a particular neighborhood or turf. But again, that turf is only good if you feel that that person is weak and can't fight back. Translation, we are scared of armed trained men. We know the truth. Nobody want to go back to La Penta, which I believe is slang for jail. See, homie, you failed today. You have a platform you should use for the Raza. Instead, you're a MAGA fool. You failed, homie. Indictments only happen when you break the law. It's okay, Lucky. We see you. So this guy is saying, look, well, you could at least go and protest and use your platform to unite people. But instead, you're not doing that because you're a buster. You're totally right, homie, other person says. The other guy goes, residents do have a point. Gang members can destroy the neighborhood, but not protect when the people within the neighborhood or within that neighborhood are vulnerable. Now, what they're saying is, even if these people are illegal, it's okay, right? Because they're inside the neighborhood. The real OG are long gone. They weren't scared a little. The creator goes, Rico didn't exist back then, but anyways, see you at the protest, okay? Another person goes, excuses, 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 all right? Dirtbag says, and those politicians won't be the ones doing the time, and that is correct. Now, I'll leave that out because the man is clearly saying we don't want no smoke with ICE, okay? But who do we want smoke with? Definitely, they'll go back and forth fighting each other as far as the other Hispanic gangs. But there is somebody else that they're willing to fight, which are black gangs. And we already know that there has been a lot of tension between Hispanics and blacks for a long time, especially in LA. And there is a particular guy in Los Angeles that breaks out a particular video series called Black Gang Started the War with the Mexicans in LA. Now, this is pretty interesting, but I want you to hear what he had to say.
No, because y'all was out there robbing the Mexicans in LA, them Central Americans, right? And y'all was out there robbing the drug dealers, the middleman, ripping them off, running off on the plug, and then y'all was robbing the Central American and Mexican immigrants. That was a common practice. I'm not saying they wasn't willing to go after the gang members, but I'm saying y'all was doing that as a form of easy money. Yes, y'all was going toe to toe with other people, but y'all was also going for easy money out there, and I get to speak on it because I'm speaking on black issues. Don't tell me, oh, you know, from LA, you ain't Mexican. Ain't not one Mexican came on my thing and said I was wrong, bro. You ain't part of the Mexican mafia, so I get to speak on that stuff. This stuff is well documented, bro. I don't care about your gang banging and Compton and stuff like that. You black, you don't know what the Mexicans or the Central Americans is thinking about them constantly getting robbed. Like I said, if it's just a racial thing, then why didn't all black people get green lighted throughout California?
Now, this guy is talking about something that some blacks, and they can verify this, can say that it's true. Okay. Now let me just talk about this. I lived in Compton. I lived in Southside Atlantic Drive neighborhood. I grew up lived partly there for quite some time. And I can verify that we had a neighbor. Okay, let's just say, for example, I lived on a street called, I don't want to mention it, but let's say I lived close to a street called Elizabeth, okay? And I remember that there was a Mexican that lived on the same street, let's just call him Chino, right? And people associated with the Southside Crips, okay, robbed this guy, and he was the plug, okay? Now, what will happen in that particular instance is it is better for the Hispanics who are El Salvadorans or whatever, they're in the game, to basically go after the gang members. But what might happen in this particular case is it could be some level of a green light against all blacks, period, because the blacks put us in the position, so we're not going to trust all blacks. Okay? And that's what this creator is insinuating. That, hey, blacks started with the Mexicans doing bad business, running off on the plug, doing crazy stuff. So then the way that the Mexicans get back is by running the blacks up out of everything and not trusting them at all. That was the consequence. And if that is the truth, here's what I want to say. Then if these Hispanics that were participating in the illegal drug trade, okay, especially if they are not citizens, they're still in the wrong, even if the blacks run with the money or not, okay? But it does show me that you're willing to go to war with the blacks if they disrespect you, and you're willing to even greenlight certain blacks as a whole. Like, I've seen black families or heard about black families move into East LA and places like that, and Florencia and in 18th Street neighborhood, and they get completely run off the block and bullied because they're blacks, all right? Now, the issue is if you got smoke for the black gangs, but you got smoke for the other gangs, but when ICE come through and these same people might be participating in the street gangs, joining organizations, you have people who are Hispanic feeling like, oh, we need to stick together and protect these individuals. But the reality is that if those illegals are not there in the first place, there would not be anybody to protect. And this man, who's a former gang member, and he's saying, listen, you guys are not affiliated, and this is not our fight as a gang member. He's actually right, okay? His job is not to protect people that he doesn't know, okay? That's not what he's supposed to protect. Now, he has certain agreements that he might want to do, but if you're housing illegals that shouldn't be there, and they shouldn't be getting their money, and they didn't get their papers, that's not his fault, all right? But the Hispanic community is trying to make it these guys' fault, some of them, like trying to call them out, like, you guys don't want to do no protection, but you out here killing each other. Well, all you got to do is be willing to do what they want. If you want it that bad, like the people who are calling on the gang members to go out there and crash out, why don't you go out there and crash out? Because you know what's going to happen to you if you go out there and crash out, all right? The reality is that if you're not housing illegal people that shouldn't be there, then none of this is a problem, okay? You won't have any issues. If you're not dealing with illegal situations, it won't be a problem. But guys, what do you think? It's your boy, Shady Jackson, back at it again with another episode of Let's Celebrity Junk. I appreciate you for all you do. Subscribe to the bell. We're out.